Good day to all our wonderful people. Alnal badi ma jila wala murtana njang kotenki kananan kanyum kul bondale nyota membe keren. Nyumati ngambe be durum bakil mene adunde wala kabim banko bele president e kuma famia lon ko monene me nyilla ka be memvola. Wonata gambe dunde bak. Banko dungo ben ni sunita. E koynene me nyilla ko politiko sa jaranyin na fo president Barrow e nanan kadwa modo la sayala. Amanna duwala saya fongo la daka mari be fala le minketa UDP la party leader akabe fala le na fara ya faye asna ta aita bade na butna bade lo ko lalon abina decide la fabe man ya sendila la fata sendila bar mbadi ngolin mas alanyum fo kola de chocho warta gambe dingo be a condemn. So finally Gambia man sakunda fana manna sino a press release so le bondi kayitande mol la ko ya ganko dingol la concern moylem e nata min fo je wo kola menale ngo fanam bondale nyota killing bar jallem bo kila dron ka fale ko fan lafta part follow min play la wala be kila honorable lawyer Usain Darboe minnim Adam Barrow dun tanyola recently miyati na nyin ko fon be wulta ay kuma kan min fo miyati na Adam Barrow wulta kanyin kuma jawo fama benawo video fanam play la la mo video nyenna So jalling kadung ba bekela one by one neti ka fale ko be flow press release le mimbota man sakunda la karole to ko president Barrow la kuma kan waje nyaadi le mimbota Dr. Ismaila Cissé la office oto anem fanan UDP la leader min kita Usain Darboe ay minefo for me atina president Barrow yen kuma kan jawo fama. Anyway ka fale al badi malan jila wala be gam politics to yala jankanana wato wade kanyum kuma kan wal bondale nyoto ba fla mole milka na channel o follow al nimbara contendro mi alan ko madandelo kal nimbara ka fa mol fana mi alan ko e ka lamoy bari man subscribe ba fla al sa videos al sa karali channel o nyin subscribe ale videos ali like e wajala wato wade drone ni na ta jey seke mo floto mimbe kibarol nyin kalamtan. So anyway, without wasting more time, I'll follow press release on number nga honorable UDP la party leader la video play mi atinada Adam Barrow juso batabuli. So anyway, I'll da press release on jimbara mansangula eko the Ministry of Information acknowledge the concerns raised following His Excellency President Barrow recent remarks at the ongoing ceremony of NPP Bureau in Birikama, West Coast region. We recognize the sensitivity of the public reaction and wishes to clarify that President Barrow's intentions are clearly being and focus on the collective good of our nation. So Minister of Information, Minkta Dr. Ismaila Cissé Nalamol, wale nying press release over the Kabana State House. Ekobe diam la man sekunda toyala ka itande banko dingol bela ko ni watin banko dingol be min fo kam min keda president wala kuma kan da min fo birka makabata ta NPP la bureau ele West Coast region sibit longola e ko ya kalamta ko banko dingol yaaje ko kula mi alon ka sembo wartal wala tanola manyen na kafo e ko bar pour kana ka koyndir ket banko dingol la dron ka fo e to liamuta president Barrow e min fo wontem president Barrow ngani am min to wala ponyim banko e kairo soro banko e tenkung banko e ta nyaato alam fali en kuma kan main itol ko banko dingole min mira president Barrow ma o mira kuma kan tala kuma kan o man kan ngani min to wala nyinte ko pour banko e tankum banko ita Cairo ita nyata ko president Barrow intention are clearly on the focus of collective goodness of our nation wala banko mole ke kilinti Cairo tankum banko kam banko ita nyato nyinam president Barrow ngani et e ko follow first and foremost we wish to assure all citizens that President Barrow's statement we are not meant to cause fear or division. Eko follow ka ko ni banko dingol ma wala nyint ko president Barrow la kuma ka manke kut mi alan ka nantal pour ka banko dingol silandi wala ka ndamal kuntu badi ya min ben dambal tema. Eko the president expressed concern about any distress his words may have caused. His commitment to the well-being of every Gambian remains steadfast. So ye mem fanam foja wala nyirege ko president Barrow coming ay nyin sulale kuma la kuma kan mi alon ka fo ni atra banko ding torale wala ite aje kula ka e ni torale ko president Barrow ka e o kalamtala annan kula mi alon ko a mandia fane wo nyama ko men ko fon ko to molati e continuete ko president Barrow ko atla mimma hamot wala nyinte ko Gambia dingo be tara Cairo kona nin tenkon kona nyim banko kan. President Barrow remarks about continuing his leadership until the leader of the opposition leader Hussein Darboe passes away was not intended as a threat or harm towards any individual or group. President Barrow la kuma kan kafako abajele la ko ay mararo ke jam for UDP la leader mingira Hussein Darboe ta ay fa ala ya nieta manke kutumi alan ko President Barrow be silandiro la wala ka tora kuolam malam fali yang kuma kan mele ba President Barrow remarks about continuing his leadership until the leader of opposition leader pass away was not intended as a threat or harm towards any individual. President Barrow la kuma kan ay min for UDP la party leader ko abe maralo kelal faaje o e faanyim banko ka wo manke kutmi alon ko threat long wala tora ko la momorandi na wala mom anata ke momorandi ako ni ku ya warta baka na ka ku ya ni statement o nyint lot ko President Barrow kala en ko makan ko abe maralo kelal fo UDP la leader e fa minkita lawyer Hussein Darboe ko manke kutmi alon ko threat la wala hamla manke kutmi alon ko samosilandi wallante am kada kuti mi yalon ka be motora la dal ani ku ya warta ba specifically the president has no ill will towards Mr. Darboe the UDP leader ako ka ko fon ko inde ni ajibe President Barrow manke mot mi yalon ko ay ku jaw ngane jawolo sura Darboe fon e mimmo UDP la party leader ako the president remains dedicated to addressing the critical issue focusing in our nation President Barrow nyimay sulo de pour ka jibe kul mi alon ko ku kolon lebe banko kan sayen ko lambe banko kan nyim kata wo consent pour ko ku kolon bay banko kan banko yurwa soto ko leal mimbe banko kan ka bondino wala mo science entende wala President Barrow sula mbade ngon nyinni ku ya warata bak alko Ismaila Cissé wala nata nan tenting mi alon ka lota jang ako Gambia be ko President Barrow min be sirin amam fellong ndung ala mansaya nyim banko ka keta Gambia no le mistake quality ako President Barrow mam fellon ndung ata fellon no la mo meke kodan so wala nata la Barrow kan tenta ka ko mi alon ko President Barrow ya fa mandinga kawla amanke ko angale kawla mo bele ya moy asenata mbema amanjara ka 50 ning angale kan safo on sulata molla pour abonni ni nyota bar momara ndi mande ka kawme Gambia din wayalo ne President Barrow mimfo Dr. Ismaila Cissé na wula ka ko wela mande ten Allah akbar ani ku ya warta anyway alngata nga UDP la leader mingira Hussein Darboe ngala video play aka mimfo President Barrow manyin lanto anemiat na President Barrow nyi ngane jaw sotay faka ba jelal Darboe fa nyim banko kaya kumanda ita abade ay nanang wotu mo labe na decide la fabe ji la fata ji la ngo video play ka fale fanam video nyin ka summarize do manden dron jalen ka dunga ko na Darboe na ka chata war raje ba ka bari Darboe fanam ba fo kam manne ka kawla o be sen yala be ma janne bari ni aji be Darboe be min 5 kan kam manne ka kawla ja wo mu luwale te mi alon ka ben na luwale kono ako Barrow man sembo soto luwa man sembo di President Barrow la fo president lo muyti bam fo ilma minister ti bam kam man sakunda la risaf la no tay ka kundi ka ke la kordat ako luwa le ya fa ando luwa bo la court kan ni manke Darboe fo la kuma kan luwa e min fa bo le 5 kan so Barrow wala nyinte Barrow ka man le ka wo kuma kan may anyway al nga Darboe la en kuma kan bula aliya lamay aliya video jibe honorable Darboe kamen fo jam ka faale fananko alnal badi malan jila wala be gam politics to yala jam han say be mol dan la mil mon subscribe isa kate subscribe e video si ay like al nga honorable Darboe bula ngay lamay ala
melni loi mantagne tele na constitution amra section 68 lom ako president Mañana a la palazzo Yusla Cafen Soto directly or indirectly many loi mantagne and Mr. President Nteko for section ni you violate Kaduko you and Ahmad Ba you conspired to take from the Gambian people an asset that belongs to the government of the Gambia. That is not a layout. Mayor Nkavoko, the minister can under the State Lands Act grant leases to anybody or make allocations to anybody. That is not a layout. When mansa kunda la cordality, aboko kumandang la residence be janyamin. You will do yata ko koy batala, allocation. O manka allocation when boying kangleti. Nyim dulani ya Adama Barrow ni Ahmad Ba or whoever would mean so. Iboita Gambian call kane, ya Gambian call yala fengta, an Islamanta. Ila sembekero yole you, somewhere may yalon have an abuse of power. And that is not the type of government you people who want to have be in charge of the affairs of this country. President Yemenke is in fact in contravention of the Constitution. A manyana lola wadula Chief Justice Officer Residence Masakunda Kendo Mayalam Kavko senda wala Masakunda be mensi kalgola wala wadlato abe warli nyame be bunkende lola jeto Chief Justice ye na Karadola na bunkende lo jefana President of the Gambia Court of Appeal ye so da nyi George Bafulo melan Kavko iteleme na kito nyatling la Masakunda la Keno Masakunda la fang Mayalam Kavko waltamo ye sabati jeto but yana yes sembo use. Yes, more use, abuse your powers, abuse your authority, and misappropriate or appropriate the land to yourself, and you call that an allocation. I think to say that allocation is in fact a wrong use of the word. Allocation in relation to land janto is always for layouts, approved layouts. The eligibility criteria, may yalong kavoko. Under Regulation 6 of the second schedule in the state letter, I will cover Femfe Yalum Kafu Gambia dignity and approved layout in Yantale, Yadula Sorry. Baratata ko, Natareta Mari, Cordal Bebulle, Boto approved layout, it offends on Lajet, Masakuna Mania allocate Lajet, Adama Baroka Koda Jolesota, I mentioned like Koda or Ulasa. When Manyan Hanata layout all of a Manya Solajet, Sakura Lama Yalam Kafa, a monkey layout. Abakaloko Cape, State House number 2. Then President couldn't sit a janto. Na Benaritada, I have combatant for Nangajanta, na develop, na can retirement committee. Nyon like at a janto. Sunyaro, Nara Kafko Fenemi Kachikano, but it's Avoko, Bankonia Tapaleale. Adama Barrow Namadba or the Minister Mayalka, Ndakoya Tapaleale. And I want them to prove me wrong. In the first place, I want to see the application, but you have to apply for allocation of land in an approved layout. We want to see the application that was made. And I say that there was no application made. There, Al-Kanabuloko Ninadi, Zangamera, Banketa, Isital Dorong, Maudo. Aye Palazzo, Kotako Sadola, Kodimi Fali, Iola Fire, Aka Maudo, don't have problem. Okay, what a kid. That's a problem. So that is Savoko, former President Sadola Carabala Corda South Atlantic, former President Adama Barrow from the Corda South Atlantic. But we Gambians are not going to have it. I ask every Gambian to rise up and say that this appropriation of property, of government asset, has to be rescinded and let the property revert back to the government of the Gambia. Adama Barrow, my advice to you is stop any development on that land because that is in your own interest. Because if you continue with any development on that land, government must set me ya panbad yata yake tate nung faling katajanto, you may lose it because already you have been warned. Kavoko, this should not go on, and I advise you, and I advise the minister, Kavoko, for your not that you have any moral conscience. If you have any moral rectitude, these are things that should not happen. You shouldn't even allow them to happen. Jame anala chafartoya be, anala lifeng banko la nyawanya. Nene mama government asset ayata, kavka ayata kake. Anal manke, anala chafartoya be. And those were type of wrongs. How can you come in as a government that should rectify wrongdoing? You come and perpetuate wrongdoing. Doing things are quite contrary to the Lands Act, are quite contrary to the Constitution of the Gambia. And you expect Gambians to really look away and not say anything about it. We'll say something, we are urging you, we are asking you to stop any development on that land because you are developing land that belongs to the government of the Gambia. This is not an approved layout. This is an asset of the government and converting it. In fact, it's just like committing an economic crime. It's just like committing an economic crime. You know? And I believe that anyone involved in that can rightly be charged for that. Because they are explaining away a wrong deal. A contra family ngasole, contra fangasole. Yes, Mr. President. Ndabo land so that moment you are going to school. Ndabo land so that moment. I was not a politician. I was not holding a political position. I did not hold any office. I can influence the Minister for Lands to allocate the land to me. I'm just a mere civil servant, just like all other civil servants, and I can name 2 or 3 of them lawyers, Antuman Gay, Fafam Bay, Wallace Grant, all lawyers. We had our properties there. And there are other civil servants, they all had allocations there, and that is an approved layout. And certainly, because we, according to the eligibility criteria, we should deserve it. Mr. President, your minister wants to mislead the Gambian people, and I'm disappointed that Mr. Ahmad Ba did not do his research properly before he came out with that wishy-washy press release. Yes, there's allocation to Fatimata Fenda Darboe, Ndimma. There's allocation to her, and I think they call it Vigilo Mini Layout. That allocation was made in 2023, or at least the lease was signed in 2023. And the lease took effect in 19th May 2019. So our date of application was May 2019. What influence did I have? So that now daughter's application is also known. My wife, Mae, had allocation, and that was in 2022. Years after I had left government. So to tell people that he was foreign minister, I was vice president, was just to mislead people. They misused their official positions. I never used my position as a minister to gain anything for any of my relatives or for myself. I've never.
Mbadingon albele amay wala keda honorable UDP la leader ti honorable Darboe kumote finally albe amay nyim video le dimba mala state house party na Barrow fana ma famuta no anata kumal fomi alon ko banko be aje ko tanolang amanyen na futa la woto politiko mam futa woto. So anyway, kafal anal badi malan jila wala be gam politics to yala jang. See you next time. Ciao.